Thanks, Ceann Comhairle. Taoiseach, the Supreme Court judgment about CETA is extremely significant. It puts Ireland at the centre of a debate that is taking place across Europe and in Canada, with lots of ordinary people mobilising against what is a charter for corporations. Taoiseach earlier wanted to speak in generalities about free trade and free trade being a good thing. You didn't address either the substance of the Supreme Court decision or what those of us objecting to CETA are objecting to, namely the establishment of the investor court system, a parallel system of justice that can only be accessed by corporations taking states to court for either direct or indirect expropriation, which can be interpreted, and is interpreted regularly, as anything that interferes with the right of corporations to maximise their own profit. Does the Taoiseach know that there's over 1,000 Canadian companies right now, 1,000 cases right now involving Canadian companies suing different states? Does he know that they include European states, contrary to what he said earlier? There's a mining corporation based in Canada currently suing Romania, another Canadian company suing Croatia. And will the Taoiseach agree that this should be put to the people in a referendum to decide whether they want to sign up?
Deputy Murphy raised the issue of CETA, and we discussed this earlier. Again, the Supreme Court is clear that this can be amended via the Arbitration Act. And again, I did raise the issue of free trade because it is central, not necessarily to the judgment, but it's a central issue. And because but no, sorry, the point is, if one is in favour of free trade, as I am, and unapologetically in favour of free trade, because I think it means jobs in this country. No, sorry, I want people working in this country. You're supposed to be for the workers, but everything you're doing is against the workers, as far as I can see. If your writ was allowed to run here, we would destroy jobs in this country. Deputy Murphy, Deputy Prime. Yes, no question about it. We destroy jobs. So my view is, I think we should take the clarity that has been offered by the Supreme Court, my view, and amend the Arbitration Act, which would cover trade. And in terms of investor courts, it's standard now in all trade agreements, and the European Court has ruled on this. And no country can be forced to accept. Like, there can be breaches of trade agreements, okay? Natural breaches of trade agreements, which have to be arbitrated. Hence, you need an arbitration court, right? But you can't, and that makes far more effective and efficient. But people cannot sue. They can't sue a state and ask a state to take policies that are contrary to its own legislation and policies, or indeed its constitution. It can't, and nor can it force states to go against the European Treaty either.